re bana ba lona ene le ha ntse re tsamaya mo gare ga lona le ska bela re tshaba re ska bua fela le lona ha go na le dikgetho re batla go bua le lona ka nako tsotlhe mme re batla le gore le re kgalemele ha re etsa diphoso ga gologolo lona bagolo ba rona re bana ba lona ha o mpona ke etsa phoso mpitse gore o tsamayang ka yona yaanong ha ya tshwanela ka tsela eo re tla kgona gore re sebedisane ka tsela e tshwanetseng re etse ntho tse le di ratang tse le di batlang le batho ba South Africa yaanong ke yone ntho re tlisitseng ka sheko go tlo leboga le go tlo kopa gore le tswelle pele re tlo kopa divoto tsa lona bonkgetheng ba ba rona kaofela re batla go bona ba sebeletsa setšhaba se re nang le sona ka sheko amandla amandla viva ANC viva viva ANC viva viva Women's League viva tata ANC tata tata ANC tata.
Whilst the steel industry seems to be in decline because it's an international phenomenon that one, but we are now as a municipality engaging both the national government and the provincial government to find ways to, because there should be government intervention to save the declining steel industry, because with the decline of this steel industry, it's going to create unemployment and it's going to also cost us in terms of the revenue base, because they are no more going to buy our electricity, they are no more going to buy our water, and so forth. So I think that's a point that needs to be made. We are engaging government for intervention. I think one of the approach should be what we call import substitution. Import substitution strategy, meaning that we must prioritize buying the locally produced steel as compared to importing the steel or cheap steel from China. I think that point needs to be made. And they know even in the party meetings, in the conferences, this is what I am propagating. Import substitution strategy, so that we can retain and buy from our local steel producers. That's the way that we want government to intervene, because at our level we can't intervene. It's only the national government with its policies that can intervene to say how they curtail and maybe regulate the buying of the steel from outside, so that we promote the buying of the steel from local. So that's the intervention that we're doing. Many steel business people, or those that are using steel for their business, they are now buying steel from outside. Yes, they are no longer buying from the local steel. The economy, and our economy here, our anchor, as they say, the anchor for our economy is the steel. So it means if people are buying steel from outside, they affect this region more than any other region in the country. So we are the one that is getting more hit, or that is more getting more severe impact as compared to all other regions in the country when the steel is imported from outside. We have adopted the LED strategy, and one of the anchors. Remember, our first strategy in 2005 concentrated in expansion of the retail, which we are succeeding in that. That was the strategy in 2005. We have now, last year, adopted another LED strategy, economic strategy. And that strategy is now concentrating on expanding or growing of the tourism sector. And we believe that with the heritage that we have, in terms of the history, the Shavi, the Fort Tracker Monument, the Anglo War, the Wipato, the Sibuke massacres, all those routes, we believe that they can make what they call the struggle routes, which can be a tourist attraction. That they said the Roman Catholic Church in Sibuke is going to be declared heritage site, but it's the church where many gatherings, where the valor pricing is one of the churches where the valor pricing was played. So maybe what we can put in the context of saying we are going to engage government to declare that church a heritage site, so that we can form part of this tourist route. Yes, I think That's how we can put it in that context. To about 98% of the households have access to the running water, and then we also have managed to have all the new developments, all the houses that are being built here are connected to water and sanitation, which brings us also access to water, to sanitation also to 98% of the households. So water and sanitation are always going together. And then we are also, in terms of our door-to-door refugee, and these records are there in the statistics. In terms of door-to-door refugee removal, the access to that service is also 97%, which is very good percentage. And then we have also, in terms of infrastructure, nowadays roads, maintenance, and so on. For the past 5 years, we have built almost all our interconnecting streets. When I talk about interconnecting streets, the street that will join, if Moshosh is a big street in Cde, and you have Vessel and Water as another street. So the street that joins those two, we have all the interconnecting streets are all tapped in all the black townships. For all the townships, yes. Yes. And we have also launched a program now of resealing and closing the potholes, because one of the major challenges that we were starting to face was the potholes that was building. That's in terms of the infrastructure level. But we have electricity access also in our, you won't believe me when I say it, in our area here is also 98%. Yes, also the stats talk for itself. Electricity access to, 98% of the households access electricity in this area. It's also statistics, you can Google it, you'll find the facts very correct. I mean, like we get up, when we are at the verge of bringing them temporary things like water, sanitation, and electricity, has just been declared a township now. So it's under construction. The provincial government is busy putting up the bulk services into the Cape. So that was an informal settlement that we had in the Cape. Luckily, we are not like other areas that has got a lot of informal settlement. Our major informal settlement was the Cape, which has been approved into a township now. So it's realizing development. So about 12,000 housing units are going to be built into the Cape. 12,000 units, housing units, yes. And it's going to have what is called the RDP houses. It's going to have the rental stock, and it's going to have what we call the flip. Flip is a government subsidized housing or bonded house. Government subsidized bonded house. There is the government and the banks will be subsidizing. They call it flip. FLIP. FLIP flip. So that's what is going to be indicated. That's the type of township that is going to be.
So it's more or less going to be some kind of a
modern township, yes. Because I know the DA has just made an article that they have taken us to public protector because of maladministration and corruption. So I want that point to come very clear on record that when I arrived in Emfuleni as the executive mayor in November the 12th, 2015, part of my speech or part of my mandate, which was in my inaugural speech, was that I'm going to make sure that we have a clean governance and we have also financial sustainable municipality. And as a result of that, we have made some investigations whereby 15 officials now are under suspension, and 3 of them has been fired. And then we are also currently investigating all the projects that were not finished, as to whether the error was with the contractors themselves or the error was with our officials. And then And then some of those projects that were not completed, we are completing them now. I mean, like the roads in Everton Zone 6, all those roads we are busy rebuilding those roads in CK Zone 6. So I think it's an important point to make. And then I must also dispute the fact that the DA is saying that about 400 million rands has gone into the drain without any action on our part. That is not true. And as far as I know, it's not about 400 million, 400, not 4 million, 400. They are saying 400 million, yes. As far as I know, when we do our calculations, which is a very rough calculation, the money that has been, what I can say, used lately in this process of the project, wasteful expenditure, yes. The wasteful expenditure on this project it may be around 100 million or so.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say 100 million, 150 million maybe, at the maximum. 150. But action is being taken. As I mentioned earlier on, action is being taken. So we don't want to make a noise about this thing because we don't want the culprits to have the details or the information on this matter. But as I said earlier, already there are people that are suspended, there are people that are fired. The investigation is still going on. Yes. We have adopted, since we came, we have adopted what we call expenditure control policy. We have also expenditure control policy. We have also adopted creditors management policy. In other words, how do we pay people? I mean, because of our financial position now, we were not paying our suppliers within 30 days. So we have adopted a policy on how we pay them, these suppliers, people that are supplying us with the services that we want. So it's called creditors management policy. So we have adopted that as part of the financial management aspect. And since then, I can say the financial position of Emfuleni is moving towards, being positive. In other words, we are now dealing with the challenges that we have been having financially in Emfuleni. We are not yet there. I think we can.
In South Africa. Levante.